with a crowd, the city is mine. You cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. Meet Joe Black.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos.
I'm the best, as you know, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, as you know, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. For the park and they know I'm impressive. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking no from my boy heavy. I'm the best.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Green Bay Packers. Mason Crosby of the Packers has it teed up, and off we go from Lambeau. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for a Kenosha native and former Badger, Melvin Gordon. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he will take this all the way down to the Packers' 33. It's a gain of 35.
One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that?
Because typically you either have a big nose guard in there in an odd front, 3-man front, or you have defensive tackles that might line up in the A-gaps trying to gain an advantage and get upfield themselves. If you can control that, that gives the back plenty of space to pick and choose where to go.
And there, a great inside run, broke the contact and got some space. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit him. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
He's going to look deep down the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And that's how you shake off the interception you throw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Jones, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Aaron Jones, not one of the bigger backs in the league, 5'9", 208, but he's definitely what you'd call a downhill runner. And he's able to shed the tacklers there for good yardage.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So look at this. They got the 7-0 lead in the pocket, and they're going to try an onside kick. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So look at this. They got the 7-0 lead in the pocket, and they're going to try an onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
No doubt about it. Really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Second and 9. Now it's Wilson on the move to his left. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. On play action, Rodgers. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. Touchdown, Packers! Romeo Dobbs, 32 yards. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Rodgers will throw for it. That's caught at the 1. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. The defense, they were all over that. As soon as that ball was in the air, it was dangerous. Not only was it intercepted, CD, but they return it for the touchdown.
Yeah, and he read that the entire way. He was reacting before other players had a chance to react themselves. Had the determination to say, this just won't be a pick. It's going to be 6 points as he takes it the other way to the end zone. So after the INT, it's Rodgers.
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the two-point try. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if finally we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now Gordon on first down. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And Gordon's got it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
1st and 10 here. If they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, you heave one deep and you catch him close to the spot.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. Dancing to his left. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. Interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd.